Marcus sat in his corner office on the 42nd floor, watching the city lights flicker to life below. At 35, he had everything he'd once dreamed of: a six-figure salary, a luxury apartment, and respect from his colleagues. Yet as he stared at his reflection in the darkening window, all he could see was the ghost of who he used to be. 10 years ago, Marcus had stood at a crossroads with his best friend, James. They were both 25, working dead-end retail jobs and dreaming of better lives. One evening over cheap coffee, they made a pact. 1 year, James had said, his eyes burning with determination. Give me 1 year of real discipline, and I'll change my life. Marcus had laughed, not unkindly, but with the casual dismissal of someone who didn't truly believe. A year? Man, that's a long time to be miserable. Life's too short. We should enjoy it while we're young. James had simply nodded, but something shifted in his expression that day. The next morning, James began his transformation. He woke at 5 a.m. to study coding before his retail shift. He packed simple meals instead of eating out. He said no to late-night gaming sessions and weekend bar crawls. He enrolled in online courses, spending every spare dollar on education instead of entertainment. Marcus watched his friend's social life shrink to nearly nothing. He watched James turn down concerts, trips, and parties. You're missing out on life, Marcus would tell him, as he himself slept until noon on weekends and spent his evenings scrolling through social media. Maybe, James would reply quietly, but I'm building something. The discipline looked painful. James had dark circles under his eyes. His hands were constantly occupied with a laptop or a textbook. He wore the same 3 shirts in rotation because he'd stopped buying new clothes. His apartment was bare, his refrigerator simple, his life stripped down to a Marcus, meanwhile, enjoyed his freedom. He bought the latest phones, went to every social event, traveled on credit cards, and lived for the moment. He told himself he was happy. He told himself that life was about experiences, not sacrifice. Then 1 year passed. James landed an entry-level position at a tech startup. The pay wasn't much better than retail at first, but it was a beginning. He kept the discipline going. Early mornings, constant learning, strategic networking, and careful spending. Marcus noticed, but didn't change. I'll start next year, he told himself, when the timing is right. 5 years passed. James was now a senior developer, earning triple what Marcus made. He'd bought a small house, invested wisely, and built a reputation in his field. The discipline that had seemed so harsh had become a lifestyle, and more surprisingly, James seemed genuinely happy. Marcus was still in retail management, still living paycheck to paycheck, still promising himself he'd make changes soon. The parties weren't as fun anymore. The purchases brought brief joy, followed by credit card bills. The freedom he cherished began to feel like chains. Now, 10 years later, Marcus finally understood. Last week, he'd attended James's wedding at a beautiful venue neither of them could have imagined affording a decade ago. He'd watched his old friend, confident in content, surrounded by the life he'd built brick by brick through daily discipline. At the reception, James had pulled Marcus aside. Remember our conversation? About the 1 year, Marcus had nodded, feeling the weight of regret settle in his chest. The truth is, James continued gently, that 1 year was hard. Really hard. There were nights I wanted to quit, but every day I chose discipline over comfort. I was choosing my future self over my present self. And you know what? After a while, it stopped feeling like sacrifice. It started feeling like self-respect. Marcus thought about his own decade, the countless times he'd chosen the easy path. The delayed starts, the abandoned plans, the comfort that had cost him his future. It's not too late, James said, reading his friend's expression. But you have to decide. 1 year of discipline or another 10 years of regret. That night, Marcus made a decision. At 35, he enrolled in night classes. He created a budget. He set his alarm for 5 a.m. It was hard, perhaps harder than it would have been at 25. But finally, he understood the truth. Discipline isn't the opposite of freedom. Discipline is the price of freedom. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. And 1 year of intentional discomfort is nothing compared to decades of wishing you had started sooner. Marcus couldn't reclaim the last 10 years, but he could decide what the next 10 would look like. The choice, as it always had been, was his. Hope Wave Talis, inspiring stories for a better tomorrow.